Wednesday night, Xfinity night, right back here with these NNR guys. What's happening, everybody? How are ya? Man, it's Howler has been in chat, I want to say already for about a half hour. Howler, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate you, being number one right there in chat when it matters. But just like last night in the trucks, a whole lot of tension, a few cautions. Not everybody left there in the greatest of moods. Expert in the booth. Xfinity guys, only about 12 guys are going to be on track. Unfortunately, a couple people were having issues connecting, or they kept on telling them that it was taking too long for Heat 5 to load, so it kept on kicking them back out. But Expert, night number 2, right back here at Dover, Monster Mile. Stay off the wall, stay off your competition. Almost like 3 short tracks in a row. Bristol, Iowa, and now this place. What are you calling for tonight, man? What do you see in our immediate future? And by the way, good to see you. Welcome back.
Oh, well, thank you for having me once again. Always an honor to be up here in the booth with you. And it's been a wild past 3 weeks, and I would not change a thing. We saw tempers flaring last week. We saw tempers flaring last night. And you know I love the patterns. I expect it to happen again tonight. A lot of high-pace action. You said there's only about 12 cars going to be out here on the track, but I still see a lot more action. This pack is evenly distributed with a bunch of speed between these guys, and I expect a lot of great action and a lot of tempers to be seen tonight.
Yeah, man, I tell you, we saw a great battle last night really boil over, and it sent some people, into the red zone. But man, these Xfinity guys, I believe there's about 9 or 10 different winners throughout the season, the most among all 3 series. And I believe that the points race here in Xfinity is the closest between the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup series as well. I think on the Cup side, last I saw, CGMX Rose had a lead of about 130 points over P2. Not quite sure about the stage wins or how he's set up going into the next 8 weeks after this week. But here in Xfinity, it's like you've got Q-Dog, then you've got King Mathers only about 25 to 30 points behind him, and then third place is only like 70 to 75 points back. So really, really close with 8 races to go. The Cup guys, they're not coming here tomorrow night. They're going to New Hampshire, so we'll have a little bit of a break from the short track action. And, we're going to take it up to Loudon. But, man, tonight's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of carnage last night. Miles the Monster, he definitely ate well. Hopefully tonight he can let some of these guys skate on by. And who knows, maybe we'll have another first-time winner. It could absolutely happen in this series.
And you're completely right about that. And there's a lot of great guys that are going to be out here tonight. We're looking at guys like Unforgotten Shadow, King Mathers, last week's winner of PTH, the GOAT.
Yep.
All these guys that could possibly go out here and win. And who could forget, like you mentioned, our points leader, Q-Dogs. He's in the field tonight as well. And, of course, our great friend Cinepews, he's going to be there as well. So a great field. It may not have the quantity, but it certainly has the quality.
Absolutely. The Xfinity Series has been quality. It's been quality racing all season long. Rock NASCAR, buddy, thank you very much for coming out. Good to see you. Brandon, what's happening? And yeah, you just mentioned Cinepews last night. He actually hung out with us in the booth for a while until he had some internet connection issues. Hopefully those issues don't come back to haunt him early and we go from 12 or 10 cars to 11 or 9 or whatever it is. But man, definitely looking forward to it. Looks like the guys are getting ready to load in. There is the invite from the infamous Q-Dog. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that and then get you your invite right now. I still don't know why I just haven't gone ahead and sent you a daggone friend invite. You figure by now I would have. I don't know. Must be something in my something in me telling me not to do it. I don't know.
Wow, that kind of stinks. It's just being the redheaded stepchild. That's
there
what it
you
is.
go. It's the 20-year-old redheaded stepchild that nobody likes. Everybody just likes to beat on. That works for me. Howler, so you got a big old fish in a new fish tank, huh? But man, those are pretty cool. So we're loading in. Of course, Fanatec, we talk about that all the time. Pro League Season 2, that's what they all got to race on. And some people have actually done pretty well with it. They've created channels and gone about their way. So we're about to find out who's got that pole, who's going to see turns 1 and 2 first. Turn 2 on the start last night seemed to be pretty dangerous to some of these guys because they couldn't quite figure out in a pack where they needed to be. But let's go through it. LXTX7 in that 0. He's going to be on the pole. You're going to have the 4 car, last week's winner, PTH the GOAT, sitting in P number 2. Cheese missed last week. He's going to be P number 3 in that 15 car. Then Cheese and King Mathers are both in a 15 car. Although it kind of looks like a 9 for King Mathers. So it's kind of weird. But I think the game might be messing up. Then you got the 98 of Old Master Killer, 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. You just mentioned him. There's that 8 car, Combat Beast. He is forever fast and always seems to put that machine in the right place at the right time. The 11 car, Sitapuse. Again, he was up with us for a little bit last night and did a pretty good job. 22 of Yotes King, another one that always seems to find the top. Here is your series points leader right now. The old Q-Dog rocking that Bass Pro number 9 Camaro. And then the 10 car, old Tweeter. Can't sleep on him much either. Here we go, expert at the green. Let's go.
Like you mentioned, it's going to be an exciting one tonight. These guys already trying to get single files best they can. A lot of guys trying to make their charge up to the front. Already still side by side for the lead as we come off of turn 2. PTH the GOAT rocking that high side, trying to carry the momentum. And the first time we've seen him move off the high side this weekend, here comes PTH the GOAT passing on the outside. He's going to lead lap number 1.
Yeah, PTH the GOAT showing that speed very, very quick. That 0 flex fit car now dropped back to P number 2. You see the 6 car okay, so even though Cheese is showing in the 15 on screen, he's actually in the 6. So NASCAR E having a little bit of technical difficulty. I guess from what it looks like, he's rocking this that 6 Camaro. Then you got the 15 of King Mathers right back as the 6 going to try to look underneath the 0 and try to move on up, and he'll have some help right behind him. Everybody down on that low line going through turns where we at turns 3 and 4. Excuse me. Going to pick it up, and first 5 or 6, actually just about all the way back through the field, expert, single file.
And right now, a guy that you mentioned has been on a hiatus as of lately coming back is Mr. Cheese right here in that number 6 TikTok Camaro. He's sitting right here in P number 2 holding off what is King Mathers behind him and trying to chase down PTH the GOAT. I think it'd be a pretty good looking battle. 2 good looking cars, that 4 of PTH the GOAT and the 6 of Cheese. Watch for these 2 to get in a battle pretty soon.
Yeah, Cheese, he actually came down from the Cup Series, ran most of the season up there, but just, I don't know why he moved on down to Xfinity. Maybe he thought he'd be more competitive. And so far, he's run up front quite a bit. He's lagged out of a couple races. Hasn't made a couple of others due to work and things like that. So here he is inside the top 3. Top 3 starting to skate away. We saw this last night. And now here we are seeing it again. Top 3 definitely getting a little bit of separation from the rest of the field.
Like you mentioned, these guys, the top 3 pulling away. And this is something we saw last night with guys that would just be able to pull away from a pack, especially if they started battling or getting stalled out side by side. Right now, that 15 of Mathers all over the back bumper of Cheese as PTH the GOAT has about a 2-car gap to P2. But of course, that's still not enough to be able to break away right here. He is hoping that these 2 behind him start to get side by side. And right as I say, here comes Mathers making the move to the inside.
Tell you what, NNR Bowling out there in chat, subscribing with his Prime, which means it doesn't cost him a penny, and he gets the extra DLC, he gets the Prime TV, he gets all that 7 months in a row. Bowling buddy, thank you very much. I absolutely appreciate you. I hate the way things worked out for you last night, man, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Cape out there as well. There's Balls. He dropped 15 bits, yelling, "Go Mathers." Balls, good to see you out there as well. Cape out there as well, saying, who we got in here tonight? Well, Cape, we've got Xfinity's pretty much best. Everybody that can I would imagine, can for the most part steal or still challenge for the championship. In the beginning of the race, we talked a little bit about the top 3 in points. It's Q-Dog, King Mathers, and I forget third place right now. Forgive me. But yeah, there's only like 70 points or 72 points between the 3. So still with 8 races to go, it is absolutely anybody's championship. That's still up for grabs.
You're completely right. You talked about the points battle, how the gap is actually just 26 points between P1 and P2 being Q-Dogs and King Mathers. And King Mathers has been stringing together an impressive amount of races just straight in a row. So it'll be, I mean, it won't take no time at all for him to be able to catch that points lead if he keeps on this line of races that he's been on. And one guy that I'm looking at, he's currently 7th in points, but of course he's one guy that I like to say is kind of a closer as well. Unforgotten Shadow, he's been a guy that has won, I believe, 2 races so far this season, and he's a force to be reckoned with here as well. I talked to him before the race, and he said that he was extremely proud of the car he had and said he possibly had a chance to win this race earlier in the year, and he's looking forward to coming back out here tonight and trying to put on a show for these NNR fans.
I tell you what, you see this Cape out here. All right, he's actually more than a cape. To be honest with you, he says, time for a giveaway. The first person who can correctly pick the car with the fastest lap time at the end of the race within a 1/10 of a second will get a morethanAcape.org Yeti 10-ounce low-ball glass. Talk about community. More Than a Cape is a proud sponsor of me, that other guy, that Balls guy, that Balls guy that's out there right now, as well as...
That Balls guy?
Yeah, that Balls guy, as well as a couple others. Man, Kate, you're awesome. Thank you very much for not only everything that you do for all these fans that come out, hang out, chat it up, and keep y'all and us company, but man, for keeping them all in throughout the entire race. Because you know what, Expert, we could see somebody turn the fastest lap right now, or with 3 to go or 5 to go, 10 to go, we could see a caution come out. Everybody jack up their air pressure, do something with their wedge, maybe add a little bit more tape to get a little bit more downforce, and crank off the fastest lap with 10 to go. So you really do have to be here for the entire race to possibly take it all home. Kate, thank you very much again. I'm actually going to go ahead and post the link to morethanAcape.org out there in chat. I definitely urge every single one of you to go on over, click on the link, and read up all on TJ's story. As I've said before, if it doesn't tear on any heartstrings, go check your pulse, because more than likely you might be having other issues. And we want to make sure you're with us still. So yeah, morethanAcape.org, go on over. Every donation from, I believe, from like $20 on up gets you some kind of a prize back. So you're not just giving away to help families that are struggling while their loved one is in some kind of a pediatric cancer unit. You get something more than that out of it as well. So Kate, thank you. But Expert, we were just riding around with the 98, the 78, and all those guys. Meanwhile, up at the front, these guys have, the 4, the 15, and the 6, they've got a good half a straightaway, if not a little bit more, on the rest of the field. It looks like they're just staying in a single file line, drafting their way around, not really pushing, not really trying to pass. Next time either Combat, Shadow, or Centipede comes across the start stripe, because all three of them have an onboard for us. We'll see what we have left as far as laps. There we go. I'll get it right one of these days.
Real quick, I think it's a bug going around on Heat right now about the servers may already be going down because I just got booted out of the lobby.
Okay, let's. Well, I'm still up, so I'm going to go ahead and invite you back right now. In case I get kicked, you're able to invite me back.
This is not a all-night situation.
Yeah, I definitely hope not. All right, so looks like caution is out. $78 total laps remaining. I don't know. Yeah, that was the end of stage 1 already. So my bad. We're going through talking about Cape and Vols and all that, and yeah, well, stage 1 now in the books. The 4-car PTH the GOAT rocked max points, so good job on him. Sir Brunson, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to NNR. Pop Bear, thank you very much for the bits. Same thing, J-Pop throwing 98, 9, and 6 out there to represent the drivers, all part of hashtag the J-Pop Militia. And Expert, we're going back green through 1 and 2 under the bridges. Here we go again. Stage 2, flags up.
Green once again. I'm getting loaded back into the lobby, but King Mathers now coming out here and showing how dominant he can be. He has been able to take the lead here, and PGH GOAT following behind him now. It's been a switch from these guys back and forth, and we've seen that week to week. This is starting to become a fun rivalry we see week in and week out between these two talented drivers.
I tell you what, Commando Grip just put it out there in chat that stage 2 is only 19 laps. So these guys clicking off the laps, that's what happens when it's all, caution free. These guys absolutely getting after it, getting some space between, but that was the first time everybody was able to go down pit road, do whatever they had to do with the wedge, the tape, the tire pressures and all that, back out on track, all green, all spread out, coming off of turns 3 and 4 one more time, back to that single conga line, almost all the way back to the tail end Charlie.
What we're seeing right now, we've seen these guys all single file. What that shows is how difficult it is to pass here. Once you get those guys on that bottom line, they hold it pretty well throughout the run unless they get loose. And the straightaways is your only chances to be able to get the run off of exit and try to make a pass on the straightaway. That's your chance to make a pass around this track, a clean pass, I should say. If you try to make a pass in the corner, more than likely you're going to have to move somebody up. So that just shows how hard it is for these guys to pass and shows how tempers can be flared very easily around this track.
Colonel's 10-piece out there in chat saying, let's go Shadow. Can you turn your TV down just a little, or whatever it is? I'm getting some feedback.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm still hearing it, but it's
Let me see if I can fix it real quick.
Okay. But yeah, still going through right now. That 78 sitting at about P number 5. Whatever you did right there is perfect. Thank you. Yes, Colonel's 10-piece pulling for that 78, and he's doing a pretty good job. He was pretty fast in qualifying. I want to say he started right about P4, P5, right about where he's sitting right now. And as they come across the line this time, I got to imagine that if stage 2 is only about 19 laps, we're clicking them off here, and yeah, only about 14 laps left at the line. 12 laps actually to go. So these guys doing a whole lot of racing very, very early, but with only about 11 or 12 cars on track, there's not really a whole lot of competition going on, or I should say side-by-side driving. It's all single file for the most part, Expert.
And one thing that I already dropped my prediction, Cape's doing the giveaway. I put my prediction down there in the chat. I love the stage 1 winner in the position he's in right now, especially to get a fast lap. He's got the adjustments in after stage 1. He won stage 1 and showed he has speed naturally, and he's sitting right behind possibly the fastest guy on track, following his line in his draft. I'm looking at PTH the GOAT to possibly the winner when it comes to this giveaway, and I just said it right there in chat.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, PTH to go. He took stage 1, but you got to figure there is a little bit of a draft here, and there's some pretty fast cars out here. I mean, right now, riding around with the 10 of Old Tweeter. He's a little bit further back in traffic, but he's not having to fight anybody side by side. It's literally just following this conveyor belt of cars all the way around this concrete 1 mile track. So I think Miles might have gotten his fill last night with the truck series. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of cautions tonight. And if they continue to get spread out or catch the car in front and just draft their way through, I think we might have to go back to what I said earlier, maybe even off of a late fuel run. If somebody can't make it all the way to where they just crank up the tires, do a little bit with the wedge tape, blah, 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 so they don't have to worry about cooking the motor. Man, I don't think we've seen that fast lap yet.
And you definitely could be right, but bad luck has already struck. Miles the Monster already putting his hand in this race, as somebody's gone missing from this top 3. That's the 6 of Cheese. He's on the front straightaway right now compared to the rest of the field. He spun down the straightaway in front of the exit of pit road, and he was able to get it back going. I do not see any damage on that number 6 Camaro, but definitely a lot of time lost for him and a lot of time to make up.
Yep, absolutely. Mama Vols out there in chat. Good to see you, Bama. Thank you very much for always, making these streams something that you like to watch. We absolutely appreciate your company. Unknown user out there as well. I don't know who she could be associated with. And then, of course, there's that Cape guy saying Experts Racing's got it. So far, I guess he says you've got the fastest lap. We'll have to see. I don't know. Long race, a lot of laps left to go.
And you're certainly right about that. And one thing, I may be regretting that pick already, because look at the gap between the leaders. King Mathers has been able to pull away Vols, his biggest supporter. I mean, Vols may have another pick for the winner here tonight, as you see on the screen right there. Unforgotten Shadow getting pushed up a little bit, got contact with the outside wall. Now he's getting freight trained to the inside.
Yeah, there's that feedback again, man. He's definitely up on that high side, and we saw, I think it was there. Okay, the feedback is gone. Thank you again. I think Gotcha. It was the 51 of Swats last night. Kind of was stuck in the same exact position. He was stuck up high, and he got freight trained on the bottom by like 3 or 4 cars, or it might have been vice versa. He was on the bottom, and the 4 cars freight trained around him on the outside. Commando Grip says max fuel we saw someone save was 45 laps in the spring. Stage 3 is 53 laps long. So, yeah, it kind of sounds like we might actually have that situation or that scenario where somebody's only going to have to go 10 laps, give or take, on a light fuel cell. So he's not going to take a full tank, and he's going to have either right sides or 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, which, oh, by the way, people like bowling and whatnot, they absolutely thrive on taking 4 when somebody else tries to take 2 and takes the challenge of trying to run people back down. A place like Dover, you can absolutely do that. And stage 2 now in the books. King Mathers is going to go ahead and walk away with that. We got to stop getting wrapped up in conversation. PTH the GOAT P2, Yotes King P3, Combat Beast 4th, Master Killer in 5th. Unforgotten Shadow 6th, Tweeters 7th, Q-Dog 8th, LXTX 7 in 9th, and Cinepuse rocking out your top 10. So not too shabby. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready to kick off Stage 3. And so we got 2 different stage winners. PTH the GOAT took Stage 1. King Mathers took Stage 2. Let's rack and stack them back up one more time. They're going to start off pretty much just as they were. 15 to King Mathers. He's going to be the control car. PTH the GOAT to the outside. Yotes King back there in P3. Expert, take us back green.
And here we go. These guys now trying to get single file once again. It's been the name of the game so far. If you can get single file, and if you're the leader and can get into clean air, you pretty much can have this one locked up. Of course, still a long way to go for these guys, though, as PTH to go has the 22 Yotes King all over his back bumper. He takes a push going into the corner, trying to get the runoff all over the back bumper. The 15, it's going to be a matter of time before he's going to try to make a move.
Yeah, 15 up there. I mean, he's got the point. We saw him gain a little bit of time on the rest of the field in that last stage. But in this one, everybody's got a pit, as Commando Griff put out there in chat. Tonight's pitting is a little bit different than what we've seen at most other tracks. Because that low line is still very much needed coming off of turns 3 and 4, everybody still rides that bottom. Everybody has to hit pit road going into turn 3 and ride that apron all the way around. And oh, by the way, at the same time, you got to kind of start to woe it up. So under braking, we've seen cars get loose, have issues, spin out, and that has caused some other people to say, you know what, I think I've seen this play out before. I'm going to ride a couple of extra laps, and maybe I can catch a break, catch a caution, pit when that comes out, and then go on for hopefully for the win. But right now, 15 to King Mathers. Balls his pick out there in chat, still leading the way with the entire field in his rear view.
And right here, he can't look too far back to see P2 all over his back bumper. And you know what? We've been stuck in conversation all night long. We forgot about something very important, Pete. You know, we keep forgetting about the stages today, and now we're here in the final stage. We forgot about something very important. NNRLeague.com, the place where you can find all the point standings, all the race winners, anything about NNR as far as both the console and iRacing side. And of course, you know what my favorite is, the Zazzle tab, the fastest coffee mugs, the fastest clothing apparel, and always the Vols Fan iRacing towels. You can find it all at NNRLeague.com.
Perfectly said. Couldn't have done it any better myself. Vols, you need to be happy or proud of this young buck. What a way to just rattle that off top of your head. Unless he's got that written down and just added a little bit of oomph to his voice for it. No, I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, great job, buddy. Great job. But how can we all forget about NNRLeague.com? Here we are racing it. Man, doing a fantastic job.
And these drivers are doing a fantastic job. We talk about it week in and week out. We talked about it before the broadcast. There wasn't that many drivers signed up for tonight, but they always show out with some great action. These guys, even though they're single file, they're close together, and they're showing us why NNR is so great with how they handled their development system. The trucks always bring us great, exciting action. The Xfinity drivers under the leadership of J-Paw, he always brings great, exciting action. We see it with his drivers and how good they are with the J-Paw militia. So bringing all these great people together to lead them up to the Cup Series, I mean, it's just amazing and always leaves me impressed anytime I see great NNR action.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw the trucks get it done here at Dover last night. A few more cautions than there normally are, but when we were all when it was all said, all done, smoke clear, burnouts done, back in the booth, it was still carrying over a little bit there. We were actually missing someone from our top 3. He decided to rather bow out of the conversation or the post-race interviews than say something that he may or may not have been sorry about later on. So man, it's going to be a lot of fun as we're watching Yotes King right now try to get underneath the 9 car of Q-Dog. First and second skated away. I tell you what, the best racing on track right now is between 3rd and 11th. Everybody right here in one line trying to do the best they can. And oh, by the way, in this line, they probably have the best chance to try to get up to the top 2. King Mathers, I just saw on the bottom, and the 4 of him. Right there with him.
PTH the GOAT.
Yeah, PTH the GOAT. Yep, PTH the GOAT. So, man, great driving up here, but it is all about this middle pack.
And you know what this tells me, Pete? I got to put on the Larry Mack cap once again this weekend just to be able to look into this. This race is going to come down to fuel strategy. We talked about it earlier with what I believe Griff put in chat about how much guys can save here and what they can do as far as fuel strategy. If I'm the guys out here on track, you got to be able to split it in half. You got to be able to have the fresh tires on both ends of the track and be able to have the perfect pit strategy. And it's going to come down to pit entry and pit exit, especially between these top 2.
I tell you what, we've been talking about NNR, the Truck Series, Cup Series, Xfinity Series. Well, how about we talk a little bit about these iRacing guys? All right, out there in chat, ladies and gents, Vroom Vroom Vroman, also known as HD Motorsports, says, Pete, needs you to shave. What did he say? He needs me to shave the middle of my beard. I don't know, HD. Some of us are capable of growing things like this. You and this guy here in the booth, you both have something very, very much in common, and that's, this fiery red mop that you got on the top of your head. HD, always.
I actually got a haircut recently.
Always a pleasure to see you come out, bud. Thanks for taking your time. You all, I tell you what, if you ever want to catch a great iRacing race, make sure you go on over and follow that Vroom Vroom Roman HD Motorsports. It's actually HD_Motorsports on Twitch. The man is just bad fast. He's actually going on the road to pro this year. I'm hoping that at some point we're all going to be able to keep up with him. As maybe he'll be in that Coke Series. Maybe drafted by, who knows who. Maybe Cale Gale if he picks that up later. But HD, man, we're all very, very proud of you, buddy. Definitely appreciate you. You know you are welcome in the booth anytime. Thank you. But man, going on back to gotta. Oh man. All right, so we got a caution out. We're gonna take a quick little break here, and man, we'll be right back. I promise.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to nnrleague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, we are back. As always, you didn't miss a thing. I got that feedback again, expert. So 4-car PTH to go to easy control car. 15 at King Mathers. 2 is outside. You got the 6. He's a little bit further back. But here we go. 4-car down low. 15's going to go ahead and put that shifter to use. Able to get on by the 4 on the high side. As HD Motorsports would say, stretched out a power move to get on up, get through, get gone, take the lead back, going through 3 and 4 for the first time. King Mathers has the point, and as they all come across the line, we're going to go ahead and grab us a quick lap count. And at the line, Cinepuse is showing me 30 to go. So I think Commando Grip said earlier these guys can go about 33 to 35 laps on a tank. So that means everybody should be good on fuel. We'll have to see if they're all going to be good on tires. One other thing I didn't mention, but you saw Vols mention there just a moment or two ago. If you want to be able to catch NNR on iRacing starting the second week to June, give or take, you're going to want to go up and follow Vols. Vols Fan 88 on Twitch. He's going to have all of your NNR iRacing content. The man's gone out, picked up a tower, brand new everything, monitors, keyboard, mouse, the whole works. He will be up and running when he gets back on American soil from South Korea. So Vols, we're absolutely all looking forward to it.
And hopefully, I think I may be able to get the feedback fixed. I think I got it fixed now, possibly.
Yep, I don't hear that anymore. In fact, you sound probably clearer than you have in a little bit. HD just says that he's got about 2 inches of dust on that Xbox. Yeah, man, I could just imagine the last time you turned that on was probably last season in a different series where you carried. Actually, I think it was during the FFL tournament you broadcasted a race with me. So it's probably been that long. But Expert, these guys gone back green. It's been about 3-4 laps, give or take. They're already all very spread out, going under the bridge, going through 3 and 4. The 15 still has the point. PTH to go sitting P2. Master Killer that we're riding along with right now in that 98 Ford Mustang, sitting about P5. Yotes King right behind him. They're clicking them off like nobody's business. Very, very, or much fewer cautions than we saw last night. Everybody out there minding their P's and Q's, just trying to take each spot and do it as cleanly as possible.
Right now, Griff even said it in chat that caution's going to allow everyone to make it on fuel. So it's just going to be a question of, do you have the tires to make it? Griff says tires aren't going to be an issue, pedal to the metal. So that's going to be a question for these guys here. Do you have what it takes as far as your tires to make it to the very end? And Pete, we talk about guys that just come out of nowhere. We don't see them in stage 1. We don't see them in stage 2. And then all of a sudden, they just pop up in the leader's rearview mirror. We have a new addition to that top 3, and he is reeling those guys in.
If you're referring to the 9 of Q-Dog, yeah, I mean, he's sitting right there in P number 4. I do see one right in between them, working my way through right now to go ahead and pick up on it. And yeah, 78 of Unforgotten Shadow. He's sitting there P3, looking pretty strong. And yeah, he's absolutely got the draft of the 4 of PTH to go. For a second, I thought maybe the caution was coming out. Seemed like they were slowing up just a little bit, but nope. Yeah, he's reeling them in slowly but surely. Just like you said last night, cue the shark theme, or as old Tony Stewart said, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Either one works. 78 of Shadows, he's coming.
You know, that's my favorite thing, just to hear over the radio, just to kitty, kitty. But right here, looking in the back of the pack, talk about a guy that we've seen speed out of all the time throughout the season. He's being challenged by our pole sitter tonight, the Ada Combat Beast. He has that 0 all over his back bumper. He's been towards the rear of the pack. Not sure if he just has been caught up in some instance, some bad luck tonight. He usually has the speed to be up there in the top 3. He's just sitting back here minding his P's and Q's like you said. But right here, he's got that 0. He's going to be looking under him. Battle back here, I believe this is going to be for P10.
Yeah, just about P10, if not maybe P9. 0 unable to pass right there. Here he is, 8-car Combat Beast, high on the outside. Now, what we saw last night in the trucks between Bowling and I forget who it was on the bottom, they really needed, what the 8-car Combat Beast needed to do right there is pinch that 0 down on the bottom line and not allow LXTX7 to really excel off the corner. That would allow Combat Beast to go ahead and get back in the throttle and move on up. But at the same point, turns coming off of turn 2 and coming off turn 4, those corners come up very, very fast. You don't want to be out there, especially if the guy on the bottom washes up just a little bit. For the most part, these guys have gone caution free. That could have been an issue, but they averted it. And maybe Combat Beast just didn't feel safe enough to try to pinch the 0 down. Fell in right behind him, and they go ahead and just line right back up again. Looks like the 15 and the 4 PTH the GOAT, they have been able to gap the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow just a little bit. So you got those two, you got Shadow, then you got another group of 3. They should be able to reel in Shadow and maybe try to get back up to these top 2. Kind of a bit of a stretch, but hey, anything is possible.
Right now, what I'm looking at right now with GOAT is that he made a little bit of a mistake off 2, lost some ground to the 15. So it is critical for him. It doesn't look like that big of a gap between them two, but with the low draft setting that J-Paw initiated for the Xfinity Series tonight, it's very crucial that he chews into that gap basically to try to get back up to that 15's bumper. He cannot afford to let him pull away into that clean air.
No, you can't. I mean, Vols fan out there making a pretty bold prediction saying that Mathers will win this race. So Vols has his static picks just about every race, and he's very seldomly wrong. I mean, sometimes he is wrong, and the guy goes and cusses him out because it's the curse of the commentator. You pick them, and all of a sudden they're wrecked out. So far, King Mathers, he's broken that curse. He hasn't crossed paths with a black cat. He hasn't walked across any ladders, hasn't stepped on any cracks lately. So King Mathers continues to lead 4-car PTH the GOAT right in his tracks. But we go back to last night again. The guy in second place really just holding on, able to conserve his tires and doing his thing. So is PTH the GOAT just pacing himself, waiting for the right time to pounce, or is King Mathers really just that strong and able to hold him back?
That is a big question. Another big question. Coming to about 12 laps to go, we see a little bit of contact in the back of the field between the 11 and the 0. Miles hasn't woken up so far today. Do we have a chance for a caution?
No, I'm riding along with the 11 of Sisyphus right now. He has the 8 of Combat Beast right in his sights. I don't think we're going to see anything out of this. These guys, if they did have any contact, it was just really, really slight. They've relegated themselves back to running single file. Just not enough competition out here tonight to really get up there and battle all night long. But then again, in a place like Dover, do you really want to battle all night long? I would say not. Vols, thanks again for the additional 15 bits. And HB Racing, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to NNR, sir.
Right here, looking at these guys. Within now 10 laps to go, we're on 9 laps to go, coming to 8 this time by the 4, still sticking with that 15. And the question is, when is it going to be crunch time? He's been right behind this 15 within striking distance this entire run. The question is, when is that move going to be made? When is it the appropriate time to go ahead and say, I say within the final 5 laps, but of course, if you make a bump and run or it's a clean pass, you got to think. You can't afford to leave enough time for them to be able to either cross you over or set up another move to be able to get it back from you. So a lot of questions and a lot of strategies on the racetrack going through these drivers' minds right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Josh 934 is wondering, where is KFB 18? You know what? I don't think we've talked about KFB tonight. I'm actually going to see if he's actually even in the field. I don't think he qualified. I believe he said he was going to be here, but something might have come up. No, we've gone through the field. KFB is not in the field tonight, Josh. No, unfortunately, I don't know why.
He is. I'll go ahead and shout out KFB. He has proven himself in his rookie season so far here in NNR. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here tonight, but another rookie that's been showing out and is my pick tonight. I'm still looking at the 4 and the 15. This battle has been going on for weeks between these guys as far as competing for wins, and PTH the GOAT trying to make it back to back.
I tell you what, these two absolutely set themselves apart. In a completely different zip code. King Mathers really allowing that 15 Flex Seal car to wash up to the wall, coming off the corner, getting down low, getting down dirty, keeping the 4 car in his dirty air, coming up off the corner again, really high, really low, where it really matters. And if the 4 isn't conserving, if he's really racing with all he's got, just as the 15 kind of tags that outside wall just a little bit, there it is, curse to the commentator. Said he's been washing up towards that outside wall, coming up off the corner to kind of flatten it out just a little bit. Looks like the 15, he's just signaled that he's going to come on down pit road. Kind of makes me wonder, did he just get loose there? Yeah, he's not pitting. So 15, he might have been using his stuff up. We'll have to see. Here comes the 4 of PTH the GOAT underneath. Little bit of tire rub between friends. 4 car to the lead.
It's right here with 2 to go. A very clutch move by the 4 to be able to set up that move. Coming around here in 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag. Will he get it here in the last 2 laps? Mathers is going to have one more lap to try to catch him and make a move here down into turns 1 and 2. Mathers looking high, about a half lane higher to try to get a run. PTH the GOAT cannot afford a mistake here down the back straightaway. About 2 car length gap down into 3 and 4. Mathers got one last shot. Not sure if he's going to have the run. And off of 4 for back-to-back weeks. The rookie, PTH the GOAT, wins at Dover.
PTH the GOAT gets it done at Dover. King Mathers, P2. Vols, I think you need to start picking somebody else and then just kind of keep King Mathers in your back pocket. Let him know that you picked him if he won, but if he doesn't, hey, no foul. Man, what a great job. So PTH the GOAT, P1. King Mathers, P2. Yotes King brings it home, P3. Master Killer in 4th. Unforgotten Shadow rallies back to P5. Q-Dog 6, Cheese in 7th, Cinepuse in 8th, LXTX 7 in 9th, and Combat Beast rounds out your top 10. So, with King Mathers, he was only 26 points behind Q-Dog in the overall standings. He got a stage win tonight, and Q-Dog finished, 4 spots or so behind him. King Mathers going to take a chunk out of that lead that Q-Dog had over him with, again, only 26. But we'll, man, what a great race by those guys. Guys, please bear with us. We're going to be right back with our post race here in just a moment or two. You're not going to want to miss it. We got to hear all about how that 4 set up the 15 to get on by with 1 lap remaining. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for keeping it right here. Definitely appreciate it. Vols, the 203 bits, followed by 4 more from Expert. Thank you very much to both of you. So we got our top 3. We're going to kick it off with that 22. J-Pa says he's the best driver in that 22 throughout the series. I think it might be a little debatable, but we're going to go ahead and pick up with Yotes King now. Yotes, I tell you what, you weren't inside the top 5 all night long, but it seemed like the more you got that double deuce dialed in throughout the stages, you worked your way back up through the field, which for the most part was single file out the entire night. Talk us through your race, what changes you had to make in order to get through a field like that, and then, tell us about this P3.
You know, man, I was being calm all day. I knew when to take my battles, when to take the push, and when to let off. And, you know, coming around, I knew, huge thanks to Shadow, because that was one of the key features that changed the rest of that race. Was he let me on by. He was like, you clearly are the faster guy out here. Let's go ahead. You go ahead and take it from me. You know, it's just, patience is key whenever you come to these races, and that's what I always think whenever I come to the short tracks.
Yeah, patience is absolutely key. You know, I think that's one thing that is absolutely worn out. 3 weeks in a row, Bristol, Iowa, and now here at Dover. I think NNR has completely taxed your patience to the max, and not only you, many other people. It's been a very, very grueling 3 weeks. Congratulations on this top 3. It's one hell of a race. Absolutely flew by from pre-race to starting to talk to you here in post-race. Only 54 minutes. Completely flew by. Congratulations on this top 3 tonight, Yotes. Any shout-outs for you, man?
Thank you. I like to shout out my mom, dad. I got aunts and uncles watching, and definitely just people out here helping me get better. I know it's a long process, and with some guys disappearing in NNR, man, we're just a strong community. We'll go ahead and we'll rebuild it, and we'll go ahead and keep this going.
There you go. Expert Racing P2 King Matters. Got him. Uh-oh, looks like we have lost. Looks like we've lost. Oh, no, there he is. All right, Expert.
Well, yep.
All right, King
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, but King Mathers coming away with P number 2 tonight. Great overall performance. You showed the speed, and you have a chance possibly to be taking the points lead after tonight as well. Give us an overview of your race tonight, and what kind of changed in the car coming into those final 3 laps that allowed the 4 to get by you?
Yeah, thanks, Expert. It was a great race. I had a great car. It just like Yotes was saying, you just got to be patient and stay calm, and especially with that low draft. I mean, you couldn't really build up a run to do anything, so you just had to dial in your numbers on the car and the setup, and I was able to do that and stay up front for most of the race there with the GOAT. And I made one last adjustment on that last caution there, and I thought I had it right. I thought I made the adjustment back to where I was at stage 1, coming towards the end of stage 1, where I had a pretty good car catching up to GOAT, but then he got me at stage 1. But stage 2, I was able to figure it out, but then, like I said, I just made it too much of an adjustment, I guess. And with 2 laps to go, my tires just wouldn't hold out anymore. So, yeah, congrats to GOAT again. 3 weeks in a row has been tough for me, but I'll take a P2 any day. But I got some competition right there in that 4 car.
Definitely, and we've seen that rivalry, friendly rivalry between y'all build up. But the rivalry for the championship is heating up for you. Heading into Texas and Darlington in these final 2 weeks, how do you plan to attack to either get to the points lead if you have it already, or extend it as we head into the final 2 weeks of the regular season before the playoffs?
To be honest with you, I didn't even know I was competing for the lead in the points because I haven't really kept track of it. I've just haven't really focused on that as much as focus on racing and hitting my marks and getting my wins and stuff like that, and consistent top fives and whatnot. But I'll have to take a look and see what's going on with the points, and if I end up taking the points lead, it's even more pressure because especially after choking tonight, I can't do that in the playoffs for sure. So I just have to work on it from here and hopefully come away with a P1 instead of a P2 in the playoffs.
Well, always a good performance by you, and always good luck next week, and I can't wait to see you up here in the booth again. We know we're going to see it plenty of times throughout the rest of the season. Go celebrate that podium finish, man.
Thanks, Expert. Thanks, Pete.
You got it, buddy. All right.
And I believe, Pete, you have a Victory Lane, somebody in Victory Lane, our very good friend, PTH the GOAT.
Absolutely. PTH the GOAT visiting one more time. I tell you what, back in the day, I used to make jokes and with the one and only Amore Smoke, the Cup Series driver, about every now and then just having to dust that seat off. He used to win so often. Now here you are. I mean, back to back. What is this? I think this is 3 in a row for you, if I'm not mistaken. So the short track king. We used to talk about a little bit of parity here in the Xfinity series. You're really coming in. You're showing that you're here to contend. It really would have been interesting to see what you would have been able to do all season long if you had made it just a little bit earlier. But man, you had the 15 dead in your sights lap after lap once that caution came out. I believe it came out with about 30 to go. So all you had to do was throw 4 brand new Eagle Fuel goods on it, fill it up with that Sunoco E15, get it off pit road. King Mathers got a great jump on your outside. You stayed right behind him, like glued to his back bumper that entire time. With 2 to go, I think King Mathers looked like he might have scrubbed the wall just a little bit, and he said that was due to his tires going away, which 30 laps, you can only go about 33, 35 on fuel, so I would imagine they were pretty cooked by the time y'all got that far. Tell us about those last 5 laps, how you were able to set up the pass, or was it just because King Mathers kind of scrubbed that outside wall, or at least looked like he did on the stream, in order for you to get by?
Yeah, I got beside him because he scrubbed the wall. It was real hard to pass, and our cars were dead even, and I was able to get the run to was inside and stay off him and take it.
Yeah, I mean, you took it, and you were able to gain about a car length or a car length and a half distance coming to the checker. Did you think that maybe he was going to back off and try to get a little bit of an extra run after running in front of you the entire time? Maybe just letting the tires cool off for a lap or two for that last ditch effort? Or were you confident enough to say, no, I got this?
Oh no, I wasn't confident until I hit the line. He's always been good on the long run, so I knew I had to go all out until I hit the line.
Last question. Being behind Mathers for those 30 some odd laps, keeping the pressure on that entire time, how are you able to save enough tire to actually make that pass?
Well, I'm just packing up the corners and getting runs and not getting back on the gas too early. Able to save enough. And P either.
Well, man, nobody can say that you got this or you stuck on his back bumper by draft. Tonight's setting was on the lowest draft possible, 2 times wear, 2 times fuel as always. So you obviously had the speed to keep up with Mathers. Congratulations on yet another W here in the NNR Xfinity Series. Any shout outs for you, man?
Yeah, shout out to all the admins in this league. Y'all did too a good job, and the commentators repeat. You're too good, man. Keep it up.
Thank you, buddy. Definitely appreciate that. Got a pretty good couple of sidekicks with old Expert Racing and Vols whenever he decides to grace us with his presence as well. So I definitely, definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good job one more time. Expert, we are done with Dover for the week. Only the truck and Xfinity guys were running here. So Miles the Monster, I hope he got his fill. We're going to Loudon tomorrow with the Cup guys right about 8:30 Eastern, right back here on this channel. What do you think? What do you think is going to come up there? I'm pretty sure we should have 20 to 25 cars on track.
I believe it's going to be very similar to what we saw at Gateway. Great, close battles, pit strategy becoming a factor, and a little controversy maybe at the end as we're going once again short track racing at another place known for its bump and run. So it's going to be exciting for us to be able to watch. It's going to be exciting for the drivers to see what they're going to be able to do. And hey, I'm just excited for more NNR action all the way around, as always, up here in the booth with you, Pete.
Well, man, it's one hell of a race. Thank you very much for being here with me for yet another one. Definitely looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night when we kick all that off. Man, only 2 races left now before we get to the playoffs for both the truck and Xfinity guys. Tomorrow night, after the Cup guys are done, only 2 more races for them as well. And then we're going to head on over to Texas and Darlington, where guys are already talking about their throwbacks for the final race of the regular season. It'll absolutely be a great one. Definitely want to thank all of y'all for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping us company. Appreciate all the bits from Expert, Vols, Rock, NASCAR, everybody that threw something out there. Absolutely appreciate it. Vols recommended possibly raiding the one and only Ryan Pinnell. So we're going to go ahead and try to find him right now. Looks like he's out there on Heat 5. Got about 7 guys watching him. So let's go ahead and start that up. And, man, I definitely appreciate you. We will see you again tomorrow night about 8:30 p.m. Be there, be square. And y'all have a great night.